And you're going to cultivate great football minds. Oh, my heavens, look who has walked up here. My heavens, the best running back in the National Football League's here, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause for Adrian Peterson.
Thanks.
Hi, Adrian.
How you doing, Paul?
How would you have handled it if I had said, best running back in the National Football League's here, ladies and gentlemen, LaDaney? No, I wouldn't joke like that. I read last week Jim Brown interviewing you in Hollywood Hills. And I thought it was really cool. Yeah. I mean, it had to be a pleasure for you to meet Jim Brown, pleasure for Jim Brown to meet you. But first of all, I just saw the pictures in Sporting News. What was his house like? It looked like a gorgeous place.
It was amazing. It was 3 levels. It was on the hills. His view was outstanding. It was a great view. You know, it was the type of view. Once you go check out the house, you see that view. You locked in on the house. So
yeah,
he got a pretty nice setup.
And Jim's smart because see, he was Adrian before Adrian was Adrian, and then he saved his money, and then he got into acting a little bit. But what he did was he bought that house back when he was playing football. Man, you saw the house. I didn't. I just saw pictures. That's probably a $10 million presentation right now in Hollywood Hills. You know, he bought it probably for a fraction of that. So props to Jim Brown for investing his money well, huh?
Oh, yeah, definitely. He did a great job.
Did you enjoy meeting him?
I did. It was an honor, just to meet Jim Brown, the guy that I look up to and inspires me. But, we had a great conversation. We were able to sit down and just talk about some things and, voice our different opinions.
It was very important to him in that Sporting News interview that you had a feel and a sense for the history of football. Couldn't you tell that?
Oh, yeah. He definitely made that point clear.
Because you can tell with Jim and some of these old school guys, it's like if you're like, who and who? Then they're like, oh, you can't disrespect the game like that. These people paved the way, which they did. Yeah. And here, knock on wood, you're at the top of the heap right now. But man, it took from Jim Brown through Walter Payton and Barry Sanders and running back after running back. A lot of people paved the way so that you can make the money you make now, so that you can have the family life you have now, and you can have the success you have now.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that's one thing I look back and I always respect. And that's number one thing you respect about those guys. Outside of just to play the way they played the game. So just guys willing. We can try to. The running backs now, we can try to continue that tradition.
Adrian Peterson's on the fan. The first day in full pads, that goal line stuff down here in the what would be the north end zone, that was no joke.
Oh no, it was no joke. Definitely when you're going against one of the best defense and the best defensive line in the league, my opinion.
Yeah.
So you get some good reps in there and you really get guys competing on both sides of the ball.
You tried to follow Hutchinson, I think it was, on the left side. That's when you got in.
Yeah.
But you tried to go to the right side before that. Somebody came knifing through and hit you. Carl Dunbar, the defensive line coach, the way he ran next to the huddle, I thought he was going to fight somebody. He was so excited.
Yeah, he was a little bit excited, but like I told that guy, that was on me. I told those guys on the right side, that was on me. I kind of hesitated, and that's not really my game. But I hesitated, and it cost us on that one. But eventually we got in.
In the early stages, Adrian, we haven't even gone to Indianapolis yet. We haven't even played Cleveland yet. Early indications, your right tackle, Phil Lodeholt, assuming he starts, it's still a battle. But what have you seen early where you think it's going to help you specifically from the running game?
I know the guys are out there and they're competing right now. But, Phil, he's doing a great job of going out and, being tuned in mentally and, working each day to improve. He's a big guy, physical guy. He's very athletic to be his size, to be that big. So he's put some good things on tape. Some real good things.
He's bigger than McKinney, isn't he? I think he's a little tiny bit bigger than Bryant McKinney, which is unbelievable. Well, I haven't seen him with their helmets off, and Bryant is the biggest head I've ever seen in the history of mankind.
Yeah.
So I don't know whose cranium is actually bigger.
Yeah.
But watching him roll around there, I'm going to give it to Lodeholt by an inch.
By an inch? Yeah. I think the guy that takes the trophy for the biggest head is Fahu. My fullback. I was kind of getting on him yesterday about that at lunch.
Oh, that's great. Couple of final points for Adrian before he leaves. You guys get Percy Harvin in here. When you get Percy up to speed, all right, training camp, preseason, and then into the regular season, what do you think that's going to do for you?
I really think it's going to open a lot. He's definitely a game breaker. He's like one of those guys that I look at and think, once he get the ball in his hand, he can take it a distance. He can take it to the house. So, we just going out and, you know, we got some different plays, different formations that you know, we're installing or whatnot. So we're just going to see how those things, you know, look during the, you know, camp, the remaining days of camp, and, you know, we'll see. It should open up a lot, though.
Can you pass the ball at all? Because if we run that single wing you guys worked on in minicamp, I mean, as I said to the audience last week, if we don't see the single wing one time, the Wildcat in the preseason, then that means it's going to be a factor in the regular season. But now we got to figure out if the kid can pass, because you might be called on like Ronnie Brown to throw a pass or two.
Yeah, I got an arm, a pretty good arm. I've been practicing, you know, during the off season, getting my arm right just in case I have to, you know, throw the ball.
Bobby Wade said you throw knuckleballs. But then Bobby was a little on tilt that day because that was the day he did the cat reference for Jay Cutler and everything.
Yeah.
And I mean,
that's what it was. He was on tilt.
He probably went a little too far. Hey, Adrian, God has blessed you with a lot. Good to see you recognize that and live with your palms to the sky. Thank you very much for stopping by. Stay healthy, and God bless you.
Thank you, Paul. Thanks for having me.
Adrian Peterson, ladies and gentlemen. We found the best running back in the National Football League. What up? All righty.